Good evening, welcome back. Last game of the day. 4 of 4 games is gonna be our game. Na'Vi, again, for the second time in a row, this time facing up against Cloud9. Definitely a tough cookie to take. However, the results of Cloud9 so far haven't been really great. Of course, I'm talking about StarLadder, Season 10, European Division, and round robin group stages. 16 teams in total. Top 4 goes to the LAN finals in Kiev. And, well, Na'Vi is pretty good on track. They have not lost a single game just yet. Cloud9, like I said, not a really great track record. They've had 3 games so far. They have a 1 against Album Sheet, which is definitely one that they should have been winning against. They lost against Alliance as well as Virtus Pro, 2 teams that are definitely not weak. But still 2 teams that they have to consider to be in contestment with the top 4 and everything. Also, this should be a game that they should be winning. Na'Vi, they might have won 7 games already. And those 7 games were not even against all the teams that you would expect people to win against. No, for example, they won against... Oh, spoiler alert. There you go, you had a chance to mute if you didn't. That was your fault. Yeah, they actually won against Tinker, which is also one of the top contenders for a StarLadder Star Series. So, yeah. Tough opponent, tough match for both teams. Na'Vi undefeated. Want to keep their winning spree alive, of course. Cloud9 looking to take a game off of the champions so far. We have got ourselves some standard bans and standard picks. Faces Void, Razor, Lycan, as well as Barrider. You can tell from the sound of my voice that I'm not really that surprised, and neither should you, as these teams have been banning and / picking. First picking these heroes a lot. Skywrath Mage, first pick for Na'Vi. Together with the Death Prophet, which we've also seen before, also in the hands of Na'Vi. Maybe not today, but they definitely had it in the future. We have seen mostly Dendy playing the Death Prophet, for sure. On the side of Cloud9, we've got a Viper and a Nature's Prophet and a deep sigh, because it is just slightly
10 seconds remaining.
Expected. That is not expected.
Na'Vi's turn
We have a Medusa ban. So that's actually kind of funny to see that. Personally, they probably have played that, but I haven't been able to watch them enough competitive Dota to actually see them play it. The Drow ban, however, that is actually one that we know works for Cloud9. They have played Visage Drow combination a lot, and normally you see teams banning out one of the 2. Be that a Visage, be that a Drow. And if you ban one of those 2 in the second ban phase, you know that you won't have to deal with those. Brewmaster, the one that I was kind of missing, is also banned out, leaving Doom in as well as Tinker. I'm not really expecting Tinker on the side of Na'Vi, because I'm expecting Dendy to play Death Prophet, and he's also the Tinker player. On the side of Cloud9, I'm expecting actually Farah to play that Viper and Bone 7 on the Doom, so it only leaves Envy with a hero, and even though he sometimes plays Tinker, I'm not expecting him to either. So I think Tinker is going to get an ignore in this draft, perhaps dual ban just for good measure. We'll see. Na'Vi's actually taking the time for their hero. You know, heroes that we still have in the pool that we're actually expecting to see? Shadow Shaman, Earthshaker, Sand King. 3 heroes that are run as support most of all, that would fit in any kind of lineup. Both of the lineups would definitely profit from it. Sand King a bit less compared... Well, actually, Sand King on Na'Vi would actually be really nice with the combination of the Skywrath Mage. So with Earthshaker, but maybe Sand King a bit more likely on the side of Na'Vi compared to on the side of Cloud9. But those 3 supports, they have counter push or push, in which case that would be the Shadow Shaman most of all. And of course, they have a disable, which is something that both teams kind of lack at this point. As, well, they are taking their time, to be honest. We've seen Na'Vi go for different supports with disables as well, such as Vengeful Spirit and Bane, as we saw in the previous game. Personally, not my favorite, but what can I say? It's their choice, right? It's their draft. FNG is the drafter for Na'Vi at this moment, by the way. Also, always something interesting to check, although FNG has been drafting for them quite a while. Oh god. Well, they gotta... Sorry. They go for Treant Protector. Luckily, we know... well, the FNG is actually the Treant Protector player for Na'Vi. We know that they play Treant fairly aggressively, so they go for the Leech Seed level 1, if they can afford it. We've seen FNG die before, where he was going for Living Armor to try and keep himself alive, where it didn't really work. But we've seen him go for Treant Protector before, and actually fairly aggressive with Leech Seed and with Boots. Yeah, that would be nice. if you can make that work. Now, if we look at the lineup of Cloud9, there's like neither Viper or Doom is going to die from a Treant Protector because both are pretty tanky or fast or regen too much or have the corrosive skin, of course. Treant Protector can just teleport out. So maybe they can't be as aggressive as they would want to. Shadow Shaman also one that has a lot of disables, so also not one that you can just run at if you wish. Shadow Shaman still picked up. I mean, it was a hero that we were expecting. One of the 3 supports that are just really strong with disables. And you need to have disables against the team of Na'Vi. You need to be able to lock down the Death Prophet to kill her off before, for example, she pops her ultimate, or lock down the Skywrath Mage before he silences the Doom, for example, so he can't get his Doom off. It's needed, and on top of that, you've got yourself Viper and Shadow Shaman. The combination on lane is very strong. And now normally we don't see the 2 on lane because Viper prefers to have a solo lane. But if they are on lane, that's just pretty damn scary. And on top of that, you have a lane where there's a Shadow Shaman and Viper comes to rotate. That's almost a guaranteed kill. Shadow Shaman can get a disable off. And if you successfully gank, you can push a tower off the back of it if Shadow Shaman is level 6. Later on, that will be very interesting. Weaver picked up by Na'Vi. Expecting actually a safe lane Weaver, or rather a solo lane Weaver on the safe lane, and then maybe an aggressive trial lane coming out from Na'Vi. Treant Protector, Skywrath Mage. Na'Vi has been playing quite a few aggressive trial lanes lately, so wouldn't mind seeing that one come out from them. Depends on what they have last, of course. Strong hero, very susceptible to a Doom though, as in before he gets his Lincolns. It's Doom is like one of the ultimate counters against Weaver, and Doom of course has level death, which can easily tick off a Lincoln, so in theory you can always Doom a Weaver even if he does have Lincolns. So quite surprised to be seeing that hero picked up after the Doom is already taken. Means that maybe Na'Vi has got something special in mind, or maybe he wants to try and push towers down so fast that Lincoln is up so fast as well. And maybe they can just run over Cloud9 at some point. It's an interesting pick regardless. And we know that Weaver is often, or used to be rather, I say was, but it used to be like maybe 6 months ago or something. Weaver on off lanes, or rather solo lanes with abandons or Treant Protectors, nearly unkillable. On the lane, it's good luck with that. Living armor over that Weaver, you can't really take them down. Unless you've got some good plan going with a lot of lockdown. And Shadow Shaman alone, I'm not sure if that's enough lockdown, at least not in lower levels. Depending on how he skills. We've seen a lot of Shadow Shamans lately going for 1 in the Hex, 1 in the Shackle, and then just max out the Ether Shock. I'm not sure if that is a good choice if you're up against the Weaver though. Clockwork removed from the pool, as well as the Rubik. And Clockwork removed by Cloud9 means that they are expecting Weaver to be indeed on the safe lane. As Clockwork is run as an offlane hero mostly. Rubik removed as Cloud9 looking for 1 more support. I'm really hoping for something like an Earthshaker still. We all know that Pilot Ice Earthshaker is pretty legit. He's a good playmaker.
10 seconds remaining.
And that would also allow AOI to farm up on a Shadow Shaman, though it's not really a AOI 2000 hero.
Remaining.
AOI 2000 normally wants to play more micro-ish heroes. Think about jungle like Enigma, Chen, and Enchantress, or Visage. All of which are still in the pool, though I'm not expecting a Visage considering that they don't have a Drow, but... Oh, they end up going for a Warlock.
Na'Vi's turn to pick.
And now I'm actually thinking, like hoping rather, that Warlock is going to be a cool role. I mean, I like a support Warlock, don't get me wrong, because his ultimate is very strong. But a farming Warlock is something that I like a lot more. Curious to see who plays what in this case. If it's a support, it will probably be AY playing the Warlock. If they allow him to get some farm up, that is. Although Shadow Shaman needs farm too.
10 seconds remaining.
We'll see. As Bone 7, I mean, Bone 7 plays and Doom and Nature's Prophet, right?
Remaining.
So, and Envy will then play Doom. Vada, Viper, Envy, Doom, Bone 7, Prophet.
Remaining.
Yeah, sad. Support
5
Warlock.
seconds remaining.
Maybe they're going to allow Prophet to be in the jungle. Darkseer, last pickup. And I would not be surprised to see an aggressive trial line come out from Na'Vi with a Darkseer. I think they have done it before with a bit of a surprise element. Yes, AOI, Warlock. Thank you. Thank you very much. At least it's something. If he's not a core, then at least it's in the hands of AOI, who is, of course, one of those support players who always knows where to find farm. So that is, at least, you know, small comfort. Oh well. Oh well. Probably not going to see an Aghanim's Refresher Warlock unless Cloud9 is really doing really well or the game goes really late. Which I'm really not expecting the game to go all that late. We've got all these mid-game heroes from both sides, and both teams are kind of known for trying to take their early advantages, which will lead to fights, which will lead to, you know, early advantages from one specific team who will try to build off of that advantage, which will allow them to take the game completely, or should allow them to take the game completely. It all depends on the other team making them mistakes. So, let's take a look at what we're seeing here and who is playing what and stuff. And of course, you're watching StarLadder Season 10. It is day 5 of the European division, and we're here with game 4 of 4 of day 5. So it's the last game of the day. Na'Vi, second game today. Still unbeaten team. We've got themselves on the dire side this time. FNG playing the Treant Protector with boots indeed as expected. Havos playing his Weaver. We've got Dandy on the Death Prophet. Funnick playing the Darkseer, and Vanscore on the Skywrath Mage. I don't think anybody is surprised by who is playing what on this side, as their smoke is about to be revealed by Paladai, who saw the Weaver and ran back into the trees. That's going to be no successful first blood for Na'Vi for the moment. On the side of Cloud9, who are not doing as well as Na'Vi in Star Series so far, they have played 3 matches, of which they have won only 1. And that was against Album Sheet. They've lost against Virtus Pro and Alliance. We're going to see how they do up against Na'Vi. Cloud9 on the Radiant side will have Paladai play the Shadow Shaman. So far going to be on the safe lane. Also picked up Boots first. Might be roaming, might be starting off with supporting Envy and maybe taking some farm while Envy is taking his first level or first bunch of creeps in the jungle. We've seen that happen before. Although not really from Cloud9, I guess. Envy playing his Doom on the safe lane. In mid lane, we've got Fada on his Viper. No surprises there. Top lane, so far, AY, I say top lane, but he might as well just rotate wherever he wants. AY 2000 playing his Warlock, looking to get some farm up on that as well while trying to support his team. And last but definitely not least, it is one of the signature heroes for Bone 7, Nature's Prophet. Very difficult lane for him in terms of matchup. Darkseer should be winning against the Nature's Prophet. Bone 7 can definitely do well here as well, as we have a rotation. FNG walking up to Fada already. Leech Sheet coming out and punch. First blood on the board. FNG is able to take it and help Dandy take control over the lane as well with that. Even though Warlock was close, couldn't do anything to help his teammate. Not with that Leech Sheet, not with the boots and the... Hello? No. Not with the boots and the Leech Sheet up and the punch is coming out. As Envy is getting harassed here a bit. We now have an aggressive trial lane complete for Na'Vi as expected. Maybe not with the Darkseer, but at least with the Weaver. And as said, Darkseer should win his lane anyway. And Bone 7 has to be very careful not to... Shackle, Vanscore in some trouble. There's no follow-up though, as the Leech Sheet actually comes out. And the stun does not hit anything. So I was still saying the Bone 7 should try to not feed the Treants to the Iron Shell. That's the thing that he has to be careful about. Micro these little beings away from the Iron Shell. It's going to be one of his main jobs here while he tries to stay alive. In the meantime, AY is still harassing Dandy, laying those heals, or rather, not heals, on on Dandy. Yeah. And in the meantime, helping Fada out. Fada needs to help. If he's not winning the lane, he's not able to do anything with that. So he needs to win his lane. And if he needs help from AY and sacrifice some levels, well, so be it. So be it. Talking about sacrificing levels, I don't think that supports of Cloud9 really wants to sacrifice levels on Envy. Envy needs his levels. He's also not one of those heroes that would really die all too fast, but he's already out of regen, so he has to be careful, as the harassment coming out from Vanscore can turn out to be quite ugly. Vanscore is out of mana, so the last bit of harassment that he can throw out will be also the last for a while. As we have AY actually rotating top. He's still level 1. Now I talked about how AY always is able to find farm, but you know, he doesn't have boots. And oh, luckily Funnick has it neither. But like, he has to be careful, to be honest. And I'm not sure where he's gonna find his levels and farm. Maybe he's gonna find it when Bone 7 rotates somewhere and he can take over a lane somewhere. Because I'm not sure how much it's worth to sacrifice the levels on the Warlock to get those lanes in control. Worth sacrificing levels mid? Yes. Top? Not so much, I think. Oh. FNG Knows what's coming. There is a ward, of course, up on the high ground on the other side. Leaf Sheet coming out, and AoE is the target. Kendini coming close. He doesn't have any mana apart from the bottle charges, but Fada's making sure that that doesn't matter. Fada's actually gonna get a kill soon. Living armor already ticked off. Is it enough? It is not enough to get the kill with, and it is Viper that ends up dying in the end with Vanscore teleporting in to save the day. AY will now successfully be able to take over mid lane for a little while Fada is dead, and that's actually not that bad for him, to be honest. Getting some farm, getting some levels. Of course it's bad that Viper dies for the second time, but at least AY gets something in return. Yeah, good rotation from Vanscore, of course, with the early teleport scroll getting into the mid lane. As Vost is having a fun time here because there's no detection on this bottom lane. There's no way for them to really lock down the Weaver. He should always be able to Kushi in time. It's only level 1 shackle.
Radiant's top tower
Vost is having just the time of his life there. Bone 7 in the meantime. 16 last hits, has got boots. You know, he's getting levels. That's all you can really ask for. I feel like Na'Vi is having the control on all 3 lanes. Big part of that is the rotation, of course, coming in the mid lane earlier. And FNG's Living Armor helping out. Cloud9 is struggling. Luckily for them, they also have a Doom that is farming. However, 17 last hits. Is not really that great for a safe lane compared to Phonic, who's sitting on 29. Compared to the Weaver, who's sitting on 26. It's not something to really write home about. Luckily, he has got solid farm with his Devour as well. I'm really hoping. We know Envy is probably gonna go for Midas, but I'm kind of hoping that maybe he's not gonna go for Midas and goes for something they can fight early on with, because Na'Vi is definitely planning on fighting early on. I think they have shown that in previous games that we've seen from them. They do not wait. The moment that they even think that they're close to ready, they're going. Already a counter ward down. However, if Cloud9 doesn't come to that point, then we won't see a counter ward. Smoked up tree.
Denied.
They're gonna go for Pylite Eye, I would imagine. We also have Vanscore rotating towards the bottom lane, but he is already scouted out by that Observer ward. And yeah, Pylite Eye there for force back. And I didn't know he wasn't behind the tower. What are you doing? Teleporting out. Smart choice, Bone 7. Smart choice. Dendi going for the same build as we saw earlier on. Maxed out, Crypt Swarm maxed out, Witchcraft. No silence yet. And for now it's just laning. For now it's just making sure that, you know, you get farm, and the lanes are going in favor of Na'Vi, so why would they want to try and change anything? Or unless they of course can get some free kills. As AOY is level 4, gets himself a heal. And Phonic is a bit afraid of dives that might potentially happen. Does take away the entire creep wave, which will allow the tower to push out a bit more. Sorry, I missed a kill. That was Zero Shaman that we saw rotate earlier on, and FNG was still roaming in the jungle. So I'm still watching here though, because this is way more interesting. Living Armor. Then comes a teleport. There we go. Finally. Also Nature's Prophet threatening to teleport in. No, he doesn't have the range for a Sprout, and yeah, not gonna do anything there. In the meantime, 4 heroes bottom. What I said about Na'Vi not waiting when they're thinking they're even slightly ready to fight. Yeah, I wasn't lying. Vost is here too, and this tower should go down fairly fast. And really, they just forced out teleports to the top lane with Phonic. That was his job. Mission accomplished. And who now is gonna teleport into this lane to try and fight, right? Because Shadow Shaman can't be here because he just got forced up. They are gonna try and make sure that Cloud9 is gonna try to do something in mid, but with Dendi teleporting back in mid, I'm not sure if they can actually do something, and they have to be really careful because they do not have a chaotic offering yet.
Dire's structures are fortified.
I do like him maxing out his upheaval. That's pretty funny.
Dire's
It's actually really good as well, don't get me wrong. I think it's funny, but at the same time, it's just really strong. No fatal bonds. And this is actually, the upheaval is enough to make sure that people don't go in. Nice deny from Dendi. We're following here because Envy goes for Vanscore. He does have a Doom. He goes for it. And with the Nature's Prophet ultimate, that should be resulting into a kill. Or maybe at least a deny, as we see Phonic trying to run. Oh, can I deny you? Yes, running into each other's arms.
Dire's middle tower
Well,
is under attack.
that's what they get for that one. The only death that happens here on the middle lane, they do get a tower, of course, which is really good for Cloud9. As we still see that Na'Vi is ahead in terms of net worth, but that's just because of the lanes went their way. Upheaval, max out. I do like it. I do like it a lot. Phonic, 1200 gold. Would assume that he's going to be the mech carrier for the team, and that they want to have a fairly fast mech to start up fighting rather soon, or at least continuing the pushes like they just did on the bottom lane. And maybe do the same thing again, like force out a teleport somewhere else, and then push on the opposite lane. However, they have to be careful because they just did that and did lose a tier 1 tower, so next time they probably don't want to have that. And with Doom on cooldown, a Vost instantly also feels a bit more cocky here, as you can see. Just going under the tower and harassing Envy, who does have Scorched Earth. What are you doing, Dandy? Careful there. Running up the high ground, getting slowed still by the upheaval. That should allow Fada to catch up, especially since he has a haste rune. Fada trying to juke the courier actually is coming in as well. I'm not sure why, but luckily he doesn't die. Dandy does die. In comes the surround from Na'Vi though. Can they actually take a kill and return is a question. Bone7 trying to run away from this one. In the meantime, it is Fada that is actually fighting on the bottom half with the Weaver, which is there. Darkseer still got the kill on the Nature's Prophet. I tried to zoom out to see all of it, but ended up being a total fail, and well, doesn't matter. Turns out that at least they get Phonic. Still a worthy trade for Cloud9, by the way, as Death Prophet is a bigger force to reckon with compared to the Nature's Prophet. And Nature's Prophet is also a hero that is easier to catch up with later on. As Dandy will teleport top and farm some wards. Paladine teleporting out. Yeah, that should be possible. Too late with the vacuum. Nice try though. Nice try indeed. 4 heroes! Rotated top for that for Na'Vi, by the way. If they don't take a tower out of this one, that would be a bit of a wasted rotation. Luckily for them, this time, Cloud9 is not really in a position to actually push down a tower of their own. Because bottom lane, there's no Shadow Shaman wards anymore. Bottom lane does, of course, have some heroes there, but FNG is there as well, so they can't really do that much. And Cloud9, yeah, they will lose their own tower. So this time no trade. Good on Na'Vi, not so good on Cloud9. The only thing they really got was freedom on the lanes that they were at, which was of course top and bottom. They are now rotating bottom. 4 of them. They've got Chaotic Offering, and I think they want to put it to use. Let's see if they can. Blink forward. That's already gonna be a Doom on the Vost and also the Viper Strike. In comes Vanscour with the Silence on Fada, but the Chaotic Offering is there. Weaver dies. FNG is gonna be next. And Vanscour, he is not gonna live very much longer either. Will get picked off. Nice exorcism by Dindy, but he's taking so much damage from that Golem. Trying to get away from this one. Might take the Golem down in return, which is actually quite a bit of gold, so that's worth it. It's 3 for 2 so far. Doom was still able to get picked off as well as Fada. But they're still losing ground. They're losing their tower by the looks of things. So they are finally able to get the Golem. Tower not entirely down, and FNG could potentially heal that up again as AOI. Wow. Yes, you shouldn't have been here anymore. You should die right now. There we go. Death Prophet gets the kill, and that actually puts a trade even. I'm gonna say even, actually slightly in favor of Cloud9, as they were able to take down Weaver, which was actually the first time that they killed him. They're able to take a top tier 1 tower, which is good. They might not have gotten the bottom one, but they get the top one, which is, yeah, like I said, it's good. And they used the first Chaotic Offering successful. They did lose their 2 cores, so they lost a Viper as well as a Doom. So not entirely good. And I love this. So Envy normally considered to be a it used to be a Golem. Golem. Oh well. Envy considered to be a carry player that normally is considered to spend too long actually farming, right? Not active enough. At least that's what people used to say about him. But let's just because of that whole history. Because he went for Blink Dagger first item, and I love that because, like I said, he needs to be active early on because Na'Vi is also active early on. It's only 12 minutes into the game, and we're already having 12 kills on the board. Basically, how many towers down? No, I guess not that many. 4 towers down. Towers are even. Well, 4 towers down in 12 minutes is still pretty okay. 50. Okay, Mechanism almost done on Phonic. Does he have something in the courier there? No, courier is just going to the secret shop. Let's take a look at what people are buying, as we already, of course, saw that Denny is building towards what is probably going to be a Yule's. But he's actually not as rich as I thought he would be, to be honest. I mean, we're 30 minutes into the game. Who am I complaining to, right? Havost is not having his Lincolns yet, but is very close. We've got a blade mill as first item for Bone 7. And I do like that, because you're gonna fight like Vanskor is doing right now. He's having a bit of an issue with Fada, but Fada thinks his own issue is bigger. And it indeed is. He is not able to get a kill on Vanskor, and he will end up going down. The overgrowth from FNG, key there to stop him from teleporting out. And nicely done. Nice coordination there, as the vacuum does not get Pilot Eye because he walked the other way. It's nighttime, so they didn't see that one. And they also don't see Envy. Never mind. Blink, Envy? Yes, good job. They saw him blink though. But they don't have any way to stop him from teleporting out, so he's gonna be out there soon. As no, still doesn't get anything. Keep waiting for him to have more items in his inventory for some reason. But yeah, Bone 7, I love the blade mail, because you're gonna be in team fight with exorcisms. That's a lot of free damage done to ooh, nice silence. And still Vanskor has to be careful, or Vanskor is going to go down for this one. It's still a semi-worthy trade. It's an okay trade. Weaver gets solo gold, solo experience. Still trade nonetheless. I don't think it should have been a trade. Bone 7 blinks forward. Finds himself Phonic. Where's that Doom? And there's the Shackle and the Doom. It should be a kill. Should be a fairly decent kill as well. As the Darkseer... Ah, never mind. I thought maybe they can delay the mechanism for it, but they can't. They can't, so not possible. Mechanism is done though. With Navi having everything up when the Darkseer is back up,
middle tower
could be seeing some 5-man pushes. Dendy himself is not using his actions for the mid tower. Is gonna try to teleport out. Get stomped though. Get stomped, get owned, and get killed by the looks of things. Getting some help from the Vanskor, slowing down 2 at the same time, and also silencing up that Warlock. Effectiveness over 9,000. This is the first time I said that. I was allowed to say that once. FNG's Gem of True Sight for him. Map control is, of course, very important. He's going to continue trying to heal those towers up. Yep, looks like we finally, as a first game of the day, I think we got a bit of a fairly even game on our hands. That's pretty good. Looks also like we're going to have a fight. Both teams are looking for a fight. We've got the mechanism up on one hand. And, whoa, that was supposed to be an overgrowth, gets hexed, gets silenced, and in the meantime, chaotic offering on Havost and Vanskor at the back. Vanskor already dead, Havost trying to do what he can, will be forced to time-lapse soon by the looks of it, but is able to get away for the moment. Skywrath, as well as Treant dead. Tower goes away of Cloud9, and the mechanism not able to help out this time, did get used, but, I mean... Both teams were wanting to fight, it's just Cloud9 was ready earlier. Navi not really in the right position, and good Hex, of course, coming out from Pylai Die to make sure that that Treant could not get an overgrowth off, because that would have been a good start to the fight for Navi, who didn't even use his exorcism in the fight. Even though they did give the 100 gold again to Dendy, that's the second time in a row, and now Dendy actually finally has his Yule Scepter. Rejoice, guys, rejoice. 1100 gold on Bone 7, continuing to make sure that there's some pushing going on. We're not going to see a lot of split push this game, by the way. Mostly because of this guy right here. Treant Protector is the one to heal up the towers. As Bone 7 puts on his Blade Mail, knows that he can just stand in the Mystic Flare with that. But with Blade Mail off, yeah, that's him done. Patience from Vanskor paying off. And that's why you normally want to only put your Blade Mail on before you or after you send into that thing, so that you can actually deal something. But maybe he thought he was going to be able to get away there. Still not able to do so. Navost continuing to farm. Looks to be going for treads. That's his next item. Funny with this mechanism, rotating around a bit more, and actually, I wonder, are they going to use exorcism for this? Yes, they are. So Age is gonna be up soon. I think that Cloud9 should have an idea that this is going on, as there's a lot of people missing from the map. But they don't have Chaotic Offering, so they can't actually fight. If they know what is going on, of course, as this Roshan is going down pretty fast with those exorcism up.
Roshan has fallen to the Dire.
And they probably did know, but yeah, like I said, they don't have a chaotic offering. And so far, the fights have been going their way because of this Warlock and his chaotic offering. Warlock, by the way, Blink Dagger. Nice. I like it. Mobility. Such an important thing to have. Hex to get the Lincolns off and Shackle. In comes the living armor. Is it enough? He should be able to get away unless he gets doomed, which he doesn't. He just gets turned into chicken still. Aegis gets burned. Now they have to doom for him. Yes, actually they doom Phonic instead. Havost actually time-lapse is still alive for the moment. Will end up going down, and Phonic it can be next. That upheaval, making sure that Phonic is still around at the end of the fight. And yes, they can take him down as well. He cannot use the mechanism. And of course that was the reason why they doomed him to begin with, to make sure he couldn't mechanism up the Weaver. And with that fight going their way, they didn't even use the chaotic offering. They can just take the next tower. They're doing really well. Lanes might not have gone their way, but these fights are definitely favoring them. 100%.
Has fallen.
They knew that the exorcism was probably used in Roshan as well, meaning that they can fight, because they can fight in between exorcisms. They can fight fairly easy. Taking a look at the gold graph as requested by chat, we've got it fairly even. We knew that it was fairly even as well because of because the game being so even. Experience graph also very even. Basically, at this point, experience and gold don't mean anything. What means is what means something are the cooldowns of the spells, like exorcism, like the chaotic offering, like the doom, as well. And who is the one to initiate a fight? Because so far it's been Cloud9 initiating the fights, right? Every time that Na'Vi wanted to, for example, when the Train Protector wanted to Overgrowth to initiate the fight, he got hexed. So Cloud9 was the one to basically throw the first stone. And that worked for them, because then they can get all their spells off. But imagine if Na'Vi is the one to initiate a fight, you've got 2 silences, one of which is an AoE silence, which can open up the entire team fight for them. If they can silence up Doom and Warlock, even just those 2, they still have to deal with the disable from the Shadow Shaman, of course. But delaying the spell Doom and the Chaotic Offering by a lot already should allow them to win a fight. But so far Na'Vi has not been able to get that in. And a large portion of that goes to just Cloud9 being very, very vigilant on where to go and where to be. And where to actually fight, and catching people out of position, as we saw Vost earlier. Being a bit too cocky with his Lincoln Sphere and living armor. We do have 4 people pushing down mid from Cloud9, and 4 people pushing down top from Na'Vi. Who's gonna force the other back? It looks like we already have got our answer, because Dendi is stuck right now. He will put himself up on the Yules. In comes the upheaval though. The silence is not gonna be enough. He'll end up going down. His team not there in time to help him out, and that actually, again, someone caught out. Havost time lapses, forces the time lapse. The the blade mail. The blade mail doing quite a bit of damage to himself there. But yeah, again, Na'Vi out of position. Blink Doom on Phonic. Wrong place, wrong time, guys. And that's gonna be Phonic, living armor himself. In comes the chaotic offering. The heal there as well, the Shadow Word, and that's gonna be Phonic, still alive, but forced to use his mechanism and not able to get anything off the back of that. And I mean, they can't fight yet. It's just that simple. At least they used the chaotic offering without getting a kill in return. They are gonna get a tower, Cloud9 that is, but they're not getting a kill, and that might be opening a fight up for Na'Vi. Oh, trouble. Teleport in with the exorcism already running. This could be the fight that Na'Vi was waiting for. We have got Envy. Well, silenced up, but he doesn't have Doom anyway. He actually has a gem for his team. Probably the gem that Na'Vi had earlier. Indeed, FNG has purchased that one. They're chasing him down. The wall goes down. Not really getting a successful vacuum in, though. And it's his Vanscore that dies. FNG goes for an Overgrowth to save his own hide. Phonic still trying to find some people to kill. Might be finding AY, at least he gets that support, but he will end up going down. That is 3-4-1, triple kill for Bone 7 with his Maelstrom. He's sitting on 2,500 gold. In the meantime, Havost is still in a one-on-one battle with Envy. Not going to be one-on-one for very much longer, because Shadow Shaman is here too, and he has a Blink Dagger, and they should be able to lock him down long enough. Lincoln's popped and Shackle. There you go. That's going to be a kill, or should be a kill. He doesn't have time-lapse, right? Does he? Yes, he does. There he goes. Is it enough? Nope, it's not enough. 4 dead, 4-1. 4-1 Warlock. Na'Vi, they could have had that fight. I think they could have, but they just got split up and the communication was not there. When one team member is chasing down one enemy member all the way to the bottom lane to the south, while the rest is still trying to fight, that is just not worth it. The exorcism couldn't do its job. There wasn't enough damage on the heroes. Could have gone down, and they just ignored some of the heroes. Of course, you can't really ignore Doom either, but his Doom was already on cooldown, and then he can just hit, and he has a Centaur eaten, which they also know because he has got blinked in and stomped before. So they knew that his damage output might be lower than Bone 7's. So did you go kill Bone 7 instead?
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Bit of a shame, but nonetheless. Good fight for Cloud9, and they're getting closer and closer to those tier 3 towers. And you can imagine that you're up against a train protector. So when you actually try to go high ground, you have to take a tower down in one go. Otherwise, those towers are going to get healed up. Which is not really what you want to have happen. In the meantime, Bone 7 is getting bigger and bigger. He's actually, together with Envy, highest on net worth. And I think we are also going to see a bit of a skewed line now in the gold graph as a bit skewed, just a bit. Goes up towards. It's 5k. It's not that much in favor of Cloud9, but at the rate this is going, yeah, that's not looking pretty for Na'Vi. Actually, that was experience. Same thing goes for the gold though. Looks a bit the same. So, oh well. Aghanim's being built up by Warlock. No surprise. He's having a good game. Having a good game. I do like seeing Warlock in action. Anyways, Warlock is definitely enjoyable to watch. Oop, Link Hex Spenskor is the one to be caught out by the smoke gank, and living armor is not enough to keep him up. It should not be enough to keep him up. Should not be enough to keep him up. I was gonna say that he lived a surprisingly long time because of living armor.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Surprisingly. In the meantime, a Vost
is under attack.
pressuring on the mid tower, or bottom tower rather. They have a gem on Envy, so should be able to catch Vost. Yeah, you can't TP out, dude. You're dead. I'm not sure how they expect those fights to go. I do love the wording though. I mean, Na'Vi, they're prepared. They know that how they have to play and that they have to try and take down some towers and get some farm. Wait a second, Envy or Pryladi is actually gonna go down while Envy is put up in the Yules. Bone 7 though, coming in. Puts on his blade mill. And that's gonna be FNG in a bit of a trouble situation. He should be able to get away. And with the blade mill down, maybe they can do something. Never mind. Never mind. Envy, blink, and stomp is enough. The silence coming in too late. Unstoppable Bone 7. They are not able to take down a tower. And those aggressive wards that Na'Vi has, I mean, they've got 4 very aggressive wards for the way that this game is going. But those aggressive wards are actually starting to be working against them. Reason be it that they're in a position where they can't be here or here. They have to farm closer to home, and they don't have any observer wards left because they used all 4. There's 4 up on the map, which is in theory the highest amount. It should be the highest amount. You can have more, of course, if you save up. But yeah, you can't really have more wards up for the moment, and they can't go into their own jungle. At the same time, Doom is the one with the gem, right? Well, he is not in his own base. He is closer to home, which is, you know, where you're not going to counter ward because you don't expect the wards to be there. So in that regard, maybe it's all planned and they are expecting Doom to be on their side of the map, and they just want to have the side of the map of Cloud9 because it might be the safest place to farm right now, which is not that much of a surprise when you have got yourself the... Oh, hello. Warlock, silenced up, gonna try to teleport out. Can he do so? Vacuum. No, he can't. He's dead. Nicely done. Fada was close by, decided to teleport out. He went back to base, realizing he couldn't help AY. And actually, lack of wards on Cloud9 is a bit surprising. They've got 1 on the high ground here on the top lane, but that's the only observer ward that they've up for now. BKB up for Darks here.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Gonna go for the Fusel Blade on the Weaver by the looks of things. Yeah, we are at a bit of an impasse, I think, in this game. Both teams are aware that this next fight is gonna mean Roshan, and perhaps more than Roshan. And they don't want to take it unless they're 100% certain that they can get it, because if Na'Vi can get the Roshan, that means that they're actually still in a pretty okay position to take this game and actually delay it so that they can still take the fights that they want to take. And if Cloud9 gets the Aegis, well, you know, that means that they can basically go high ground, mess up a fight if they want to. And fighting in the Roche Pit, as the first team to fight in the Roche Pit is the one that is, in theory, gonna get jumped on. And you don't want to be that person, because if you're Na'Vi, you're gonna get yourself a chaotic offering on your head. And if you're Cloud9, you're gonna get an AoE silence, and you might actually die in Exorcism. You might actually lose the fight, and that would be terrible. But we'll see if Na'Vi is gonna try that, as it looks like we might have Cloud9 thinking Roshan. No words up around the Roche Pit from Na'Vi, by the way.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
So they might be thinking that it's up. Actually, that rather that Cloud9 is on there. Although they're gonna reveal themselves shortly on top lane. Yep. So, worth it trading a tier 2 for Roshan? Yes. Worth it trading a tier 2 and tier 3 for Roshan? No. And with Cloud9 still having a tier 1 tower standing, they can get to the Roche Pit very fast. They have a lot of blinks, it's scary, you don't want to do that. There goes the tower. Wouldn't even have enough damage. If Na'Vi wanted to take down Roshan fairly fast, they would need to use the Exorcism, and you don't want to do that. You need that for your next fight. Doesn't look like Cloud9 wants to fight this either. They really just hope to take Roshan first. I mean, if you're doing things according to the book, when you're ahead, you want to stay ahead. You do that by getting a Roshan, and you don't have any towers to take down anymore. So yeah, Roshan it is, and then high ground when you have your fail safe in a way. Did something happen with the pennant? Do the team pennant. Do the team pennant. Looks like this one is messed up. Bone 7. Soloing Roshan, no problem for him. Create some new Treants, no problem for him either. Oh, his Treant making was actually a bit delayed. He's gonna get forced out of the pit as well by the bugs. But I did see, or rather, Vos did see the Roshan walking back, so he saw that that was actually intended Cloud9. Gonna do the whole wraparound. Oh, Phonic, careful there. There go for him. The BKB is on the vacuum there as well as the wall. Trying to take some people down. Fada stuck in the overgrowth, but that Mystic Flare barely did any damage for him. The Chaotic Offering not yet used, or actually rather already on cooldown. No mana for it, rather. That is going to be 2 heroes already dead. Dendi already forced to back out as well. And it is Cloud9 that is victorious there. But they did use the Chaotic Offering. Oh, the Diffusal Blade already ticked away the Golem. Never mind that. Phonic is still gonna get picked off there. And Vos, well, he's just gonna try to delay them from going into the base. He knows that he is dead. And there he goes. That was a bit of an anticlimactic fight, at least. I think that Cloud9 is gonna take at least the lane of Rax, if not more. They might not have the wards from the Shadow Shaman anymore, but they might be able to get some pickups. And if they can kill Dendi again, they definitely got this game in the pocket. That means that Na'Vi lose their first game of the series. First game of the series. Of Star Series, that is. Round robin group stage, 16 teams, so you play 15 matches. This was the 8th match of Na'Vi. They have won 7 matches so far, so they're doing really well, don't get me wrong. But they have now got also a loss to their name. And this win for Cloud9 actually means that they're 2-2. 2 wins, 2 losses. And I think with taking over Na'Vi, definitely a strong contestant that they should be very happy with to have taken down. So also you have to remember that if at the end of the season, if there's some ties, head-to-head starts to count. So being able to say that you actually won over Na'Vi, which is also a team that you could expect to be in the top 6, at least, is really good, because it will help you on your head-to-head scores. So, congratulations to Cloud9, very well played, and it seemed like Na'Vi just couldn't get their game plan together, and maybe we're a bit surprised that Cloud9 was as active on the map as they were. Na'Vi had a decent laning stage, but after those team fights, that Warlock really pulled it together. Anyways, thank you for watching. Might play some games, but I'll see that in a minute. I need to drink some water first. Yeah, thanks.